Hello YouTubers, viewers and subscribers. It's V6I6D606R666 and today I'm gonna be reviewing Sonic Generations. Now remember I'm Portuguese, so sorry if my English isn't perfect. Now without further ado, let's begin this. Well, basically, the game starts with a blast from the past, with classic Sonic running around Green Hill Zone. And as you can see, classic Sonic's gameplay is basically pure 2D with incredible graphics. It's sure to say that this Sonic never looked this good. After that run and some purple mist, we cut back to the present, where Sonic and his friends are having a party. A birthday party for our favorite Supersonic Hedgehog, that is. It's kind of awkward, if you know what I mean. And then, when things were going so well, giant purple monster sucks up all of Sonic's friends into a variety of wormholes. Shit, talk about a party pooper. Then, after some passing out, Sonic finds himself in a gigantic white void with quite some familiar features. From that point on, the game truly begins, with Sonic finding himself, or rather, his younger version, in this white maze, and both going through a series of levels from their past adventures, in order to save Sonic's friends and restore the space-time continuum. The gameplay was a blast in both Sonics, but if I had to choose, I would say the modern Sonics were the better ones, with the boosting gameplay style that we have been seeing since Sonic Unleashed, but no Werehog. Despite that, there were a couple problems with modern Sonic's gameplay. Besides the controls that needed with the words, the fact that in the 2D parts of the gameplay, you can't change your direction in mid-air, causing you to boost in the wrong direction, and those other little glitches that you only find by chance, and that it hardly affects the gameplay at all. There was one more thing, something that I have been starting to notice since Sonic Unleashed, and just went overboard in Sonic Colors and now in Sonic Generations. I'm referring to the enemy, and the fact that they are just a bunch of wimps. And with all seriousness, I've played bowling games where the bowling teams put up more of a fight than the enemies in this game. Now for the classic Sonic gameplay, which basically the exact same mechanics that we saw throughout the Genesis series, and the feel of nostalgia is amazing. I kept saying, just like in the old times, time and time again, while playing this game. Just like the levels, the bosses are a blast from the past, and unfortunately, just like the normal enemies, they don't put up much of a fight either. At least nowhere near as much as the originals did. I mean, the originals really packed the punch. To add to the gameplay, you also get the Rivals battle, which is basically almost like the mini-boss of Sonic's 3 greatest rivals throughout these 20 years. And for the finishing touch, for each level you'll receive a series of challenges, these ones being alternative ways to beat this level always against the clock. As you may guess, newly remade levels ask for newly remade music. And even though the guys at Sega still haven't lost their touch, I prefer the original ones. But considering that you can change the music level or any other music that you might have collected throughout the game. As for example, hearing Endless Possibilities in the level Rooftop Run, or the music Sonic Boom in the fight against Metal Sonic. And that only leaves one question to be answered. Why didn't you think of this before? Overall, the game was amazing. It seemed to be intended to remind us of the previous games, and it sure did, at least to me. It reminded me the variety of the gameplay of the Adventure series, reminded me the simple challenge of the Genesis series, and it reminded me of all the fun that I had while going all out in the incredibly challenging levels of Sonic 06. But as for Sonic Generations, the gameplay was good, the graphics were amazing, as for the music, well, they had them all, so you choose. Personally, I think it was an excellent idea. It only comes to show you that Sega still knows how to rock the house. The only problem that I had with the game was that it is by far the easiest Sonic game ever made. It was hardly any challenge at all. Oh, and the fact that the game was incredibly short. which are downsides, but still, the game was just lots and lots of paradoxical fun, and for that and everything else, I'm giving it the incredible score of 8.06 out of 10. And even though these last few years hasn't been bad at all, I can't wait for the next multi-character purely 3D Sonic game. That's all for now, thanks for watching, subscribe if you want, if you don't, I don't die for it. Now, see you later folks, and today I'm going out with a question. If the game is fun, does any of it really matter?